Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be how women subtly test you. I've got 4 good emails from guys that are involved in situations where women are testing them, trying to get them to change their opinion or change how they look or how they dress or get them to go against things that are what they believe in. And before we get into it, I got a quote that I wrote on this topic that I want to share with you before we get into the first guy's email. And it says, when a woman senses weakness or timidness in her man, she will test him by pretending to be irritated, displeased, or unhappy with him in order to see if he will stand up for himself to her and if he will stand up for his principles and what he believes in. If he fails these tests, it causes her to doubt his masculine core and causes her to question if she were ever in any real physical danger that he would stand up for her and protect her. Men must know who they are, what they want, what their mission and purpose is, and be unwilling to compromise their values and principles to maintain the respect and love of their women. When a woman loses respect for her man, she will lose her feelings of safety, security, and love for him. This is why nice guys who don't stand up for themselves always finish last with women. So let's go ahead and jump into the first guy's email. He says, "Hey Corey, I've been living with my girlfriend for about 2 months now. We recently came back from a 9-day holiday and it was great. We had an awesome time. We've been having great sex and generally having fun together. Hang out, have fun, hook up. I say it all the time." He says, "However, sometimes I feel trapped because she wants to be around me 24/7, but I have continued to do what I've been doing since I met her over 8 months ago." Well, like I talk about in my book, when a woman is in love with you and you are in a relationship, obviously in this case you're living together, they pretty much want your attention all of the time. Now the reason is she's in love with you. You are her rock, her mountain, her source of masculine strength, protection, safety, security, energy, and who she goes to, her confidant, her best friend, her lover. And so they're going to naturally want to be around you more and more. I mean, think about it. Women are physically designed to receive a man, and so they want to receive you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically. And that's why when you're in a relationship that's this close, where you're actually living together, that's why she wants your attention all the time, because she wants to feel your love. She wants to feel your presence. I wrote about this extensively in my book. He says, "I still go to the gym, focus on my career, and catch up with my friends and family." Good. Don't ever stop doing that. He says, "I haven't put my life on hold just for her." Excellent. You've been paying attention. You're still the same guy that has outside interests and hobbies other than his woman. In essence, you're the same guy that you were when she met you and started dating, and that's the guy she fell in love with. And what a lot of guys do when they get into a relationship, it's like slowly, it's because, it's funny, I've had several girlfriends that I've literally busted, is the quote that I share, I've literally busted them thousands of times testing me, it's not in a mean-spirited way, they just do it to see if you'll stand up for them, and they always come up with a creative way, and it's just a fun and a playful thing. But if you start caving to their every wish and desire and demand, and you start compromising your goals, your values, your principles, things that she knows that are important to you, even things that you've stated are important to you, wants to test your strength. Women are attracted to your strength. But when you start acting weak, that's when they are going to start to back up and start to wonder, and it's going to cause them to feel a little wishy-washy towards you. I had one of my girlfriends, every time I would bust her doing this stuff to me, I would call her out on it. I'd say, "You're just fucking with me to see what I say, aren't you?" And she would smile and start giggling and laughing like a little schoolgirl. And it's just a fun, playful game, and that's the way they are. But a lot of guys, I'd say the majority of men out there, don't understand this. They don't understand that women are just playing around and testing their strength. They don't mean it in a mean way. And guys that don't understand this, they don't know how to handle it, and it just creates a whole shitload of problems in their relationship. He says, "I notice that she acts a little sulky when I tell her I'm going to the gym or to go see my parents, which live about 5 minutes away. I ignore it, and then I notice she goes back to normal and touches me, wanting sex from me." It's always better if a woman is pursuing you, and that's a great place that you're in, because you're still that strong guy. She's trying to get you to, even though it's just like when a guy says, "Hey, I got to go off to war. It's my duty. I'm in the military." It's just like, "I don't want you to go." Even though she doesn't want you to go, deep down, you need to go, and she knows you need to go. I talk about in that movie that I wrote about in my book, Cinderella Man, with Russell Crowe. It's a fantastic example of that, and the guys that did that movie did a fantastic job of showing that dynamic. How she said, "Oh, I won't support you if you're going to go and be this fighter. I'm not going to listen to the radio. I'm not going to come see you." And not only does she listen to it on radio, she actually goes and shows up where the fight is happening, because it's his purpose, and it's what he's doing to support his family. And he loves his wife, and even though she protests, he's going to do it anyway. She loves him. She cares about him. Obviously, she doesn't want anything to happen to him, but he does it. He goes to the fight because that's just what he does. He's a fighter, and he obviously ends up winning. He says, "I mentioned in my previous email she's insecure, and that's okay with me, but I can't help but sometimes feel trapped. See, you must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. And so in this particular case, your girlfriend at times is making you feel or fear that you're going to lose your freedom. And that's why you need to say, baby, I love you, but I got to go see mom and dad. I'll see you a little while later. I'll be back. You can miss me while I'm away. Now come over here and give me a little sugar before I go." He says she also wants to have sex literally every day, and sometimes even wakes me up in the morning with a big smile on her face trying to get into my pants. Like I said, women want your attention all of the fucking time. When you're in a relationship, when you're in love, when you're living together, and you're acting like a man is supposed to act, they won't fucking leave you alone, dude. They're physically designed to receive us, and that's what she wants. She wants to receive your strength. So it's a good sign that she's doing that. It shows me that you've been paying attention when I've been teaching, and this is what effortless looks like. It's easy this way. If your girlfriend's tearing your clothes off and always wanting to be around you and always wanting to see you and always wanting to have sex with you, that's what you wanted. That's what I teach you how to do. He says the main point of this email, though, is to get your opinion on the trapped feeling I am experiencing. I have talked to her about needing my own time for the gym and seeing my 2 pet birds, which are at my parents' place. I spend 20 minutes a day to clean up their bedding, etc. She said she understands after we had a talk and that it's fine. Now here's the thing that bothers me, though. I've had 2 pet birds from almost 2 years ago now, which I hand-raised myself. Obviously, they're important to you. He says they're awesome pets. They're white, really pretty, and clean. And she knew I had them when we met, and she adored them. Recently, though, she's been hinting for me to give them away. Because deep down, she's thinking, hey, if you get rid of these birds, then you'll spend even more time with them. That's just the way women are. It's because they love you. But if you love your birds and you want to keep them, guess what? You need to keep them. Because why? That's what you want to do. Don't get pissed off or butthurt. She's going to do these things because she's challenging you. She's testing you. She's testing you to see how much you really care about these birds, if they really mean that much to you. The worst thing you can do, and this is what a lot of guys go wrong, they go, okay, she won't leave me alone about these birds. All right, let me get rid of the damn things. And then she's bitchy later on. And what she really wants, what a woman really wants, is for you to do whatever the fucking hell you want to do. She wants you to be a man. This is what women do. They see a little chink in your armor. They go to see if they're going to needle away at it, see if there's any kind of weakness there that they can explore or expose. Why? Because it causes you to be a stronger man. And if you show up as a stronger man, it makes her feel even more safe and comfortable, which causes her to open up to receive you even more. He says, so I confronted her about it and told her in a nice way that I'm not giving up my pets. Perfect. Good job. And that they're coming to stay with us. Awesome. You're a family, you and your 2 birds. 4 lovebirds. She became a little sulky but said okay and went back to her happy self. Why? Because you stated what you wanted and you made a decision and she went back to her happy self. Why? Because you demonstrated your masculinity to her. You were a man to her. You did what pleased you. She was testing to see if you really cared about those birds, and you're like, not only am I not giving up my birds, but they're going to come stay with us. And she's like, okay. She also told me the following, well, it's your house and I'm living here, so I guess it's not my place to tell you what you can and can't do with your pets. You can just say, baby, I love you. They're just part of our family. He says she wants to get a dog or a cat, and I'm more than happy for her to do that because I love animals. I just wish she would treat me the same way. Don't take it personally, bro. She's just testing your strength. See what you're fucking made of. And obviously you passed the test. That's why she won't fucking leave you alone. Is constantly tearing your clothes off. because she's totally in a submissive place. And the only reason she is in that submissive place is as a compliment to you for the fact that you're showing up and acting how a man is supposed to act. So great fucking job, dude. He says, it's my house and she's got a shitload of useless things that she clogs up the place with, but I don't complain. And you shouldn't. He says, I've learned to accept it. The whole purpose of a relationship is you go there to give. You're there to meet each other's needs and help each other grow and become more. He says, besides, my birds will be staying outside at a certain part of the garden where she doesn't even like going to. What do you think, Corey? Would you let your girlfriend dictate to you whether you can keep pets or not, even in your very own house? Absolutely not, unless, of course, she's allergic to them. They cause problems for her. But other than that, it's like, absolutely not. And he says, my intuition says, fuck that. You should trust that. Your feelings are your truth. You should always listen to what feels right inside and do what feels right for you. And that's what she's doing. She's just challenging you to make your own fucking decision, doing what pleases you. And she'll support you either way because she loves you. Because obviously you're treating her the way she wants to be treated. That's why she's always tearing your clothes off. It's like, you're doing great, bro. Good fucking job. Pat yourself in the back and say, I got this, bro. So let's get on the second email. This guy says, hey, Corey, I just want to say thanks for all the great videos that you put on YouTube. I will definitely buy your book since I do notice you talk a lot about the fuck-ups I've already made. Gotta learn the fundamentals. There's no way around it. He says, anyways, hopefully you can help me with this girl. Just for your reference, I'm 23 and she's 20, and I saw her on Match.com almost a year ago. I sent her a couple messages, but she went cold pretty quick and stopped responding. Well, there's not a need to send dozens of messages. You should be getting right to the point and making a date. Hey, I'd love to meet up for a drink. When are you free to get together? Attraction's not a choice. They either like you or they don't. And women that are borderline will be like, it'll be difficult to get her to meet you out. He says, well, last weekend I was riding my motorcycle and happened to see her driving, literally stopping next to her at a light completely by chance. Well, in my experience, I have found that there is no such thing. He says she and her mom look over once and both smile, and then her mom continues to look to see if I am still looking. I went home and I sent her a message about it and then got a pretty good response. I would have just said, hey, we got to meet up for a drink sometime. When are you free to get together? Most guys talk too much, and the fact that this girl blew you off last time when you sent too many messages, that tells me that you were kind of like borderline. She's like, he's okay. Maybe I'd go out with him. But she wasn't really into it. And then the more you talked, she was just like, I don't think I'm going to go out with him. And that's why she blew you off. And it's the same kind of situation. It's like you're just like barely holding on by your fingernails. He says, one thing she said was that she really liked my motorcycle. Well, after 6 or 7 messages, that's way too many messages, bro. I told her to let me know if she would like to get coffee later. Hey, let's meet up for a drink. Meet up at a nice restaurant in the evening. Plan dates in the evening that can lead to sex. Hang out, have fun, hook up. That's the whole point of it. Not in the middle of the day, going to lunch or having a coffee. He says she'd messaged back later on saying that she was too tired and we should meet later in the week. That's what you should always say. When are you free? I'd love to meet up with you for a drink. I'd love to meet up with you with a cup of coffee. There's a great restaurant on the corner. When are you free to get together? That's what you've got to ask instead of just throwing one day after another out there. He says, I told her that it sounds good and to let me know. Well, I messaged again a couple days later. So you didn't wait. You told her to get back to you when she figures out her schedule. I told her that sounds good and let me know. You got to be congruent with that statement. When you say, oh yeah, just get back to me when you figure it out, and then a couple days go by and you don't hear from her and you reach out again, that's over pursuing. That's needy, insecure behavior. That's you doubting that you're worthy. If you perceive yourself as being a catch and that you have a lot to offer a woman, you're not going to run after this girl because you got other options. Because out of self-respect and self-love, you're going to want somebody who wants you as well. You want her to earn you as well. But instead, she just you don't give her time to get back to you, and then you call. When you're just borderline, girls just kind of barely interested in you, but not really that excited, and you do this, that's all it takes, and you are totally out of there. You blew it. He says, well, I messaged again a couple days later, and he puts in parentheses, I know, haha, and asked if she wanted to get something to eat, making sure to tell her that I know some great vegan, vegetarian places, since I know from her Instagram that she likes to eat very healthy. Approval-seeking behavior. She responded that since Fashion Week is coming up, she will be juicing for all of her meals. See, now she's giving you all these excuses, how she's just so busy. She really wanted to see you. She'd take one evening off to meet you for a drink. But this girl is just not willing to do anything. She's not willing to lift a finger. Because why? This is what most guys do that she meets. She knows that you'll probably call back in a few days, and if she's got nothing better going on, or she has no plans, she thinks, yeah, it's kind of a cool place. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a free meal out of it. Yeah, I'll meet that guy out for dinner. He says, but I did manage to get her number, oh goody, and told her that this weekend would be perfect to go riding, figuring that it'd be good since she mentioned she likes my motorcycle. She said she isn't free this weekend at all, but so far she would be free on Friday next week, so I told her that sounds like a plan. You have to make definite plans, dude. Say, great, Friday, how about I pick you up at 8? Or, hey, Friday, how about we meet at such and such place? 7 o'clock, awesome. I will see you there. If something comes up, I'll call you. Otherwise, I'll just see you there. Is that cool? Great. And that's it. He says, now here's the part I need help with. She said she wanted a picture of my friend's dog, so I texted that to her the next day saying, oh, I almost forgot. She never responded to that. So after watching your videos, I know I need to wait till probably Thursday to even message her at all. Well, if you'd have made a definite date, you wouldn't be doing this. But you did make a definite date. This is what I'm talking about, the whole point of this video. When a woman is really not that into you, she thinks, well, he's kind of cute, but I'm not really that crazy. She's probing you. She's probing to see how flexible you are and if she can just kind of jerk you around and push you around. And she's doing a pretty good job of it. So she's not really crazy about you. So she figures, oh, let me see if this guy's got some confidence. And so look how she treats you. And, you know, she pokes her finger into you, and you're like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, or like the little Pillsbury Doughboy. That's all it takes, and you're out. He says, do you think I should even do that? I don't know if I should confirm with her about Friday beforehand, or if I should wait till that day, or if I just don't say anything, let her think it slipped my mind, and let her message me about it. Well, like I said, if you would have made a definite date with a definite day, definite time, and a definite place to meet up, then there's no reason to confirm. But the fact that you're questioning this, it's like, this is typical needy behavior. And you could get away with your act that you're doing if the girl had, on a scale of 1 to 10, she was like a 7 or 8 as far as attraction level. But this girl's like borderline, you barely got a shot. And so I would say in this particular case, you know, just wait and see if you hear from her. If you don't hear from her, like I said, if you have a definite day and a definite time to meet up, then obviously go ahead and go on your date. But if you just kind of left things up in the air, if you just said, oh, sounds like a plan, sounds like Friday, but you didn't schedule a time or anything or a place to meet up, I would say I'm 99% sure that when you reach out to her to say, hey, you know, what time are you free to get together tonight? She'll be like, oh, you know, something came up. Some other BS thing came up. Why? Because you're demonstrating to her that she can blow you off and jerk you around and make you a low priority in her life. And it doesn't matter. You're still going to keep coming back for more. So let's get into the third guy's email. He says, hey, coach, my girlfriend of 3.5 years broke up with me 2 weeks ago. Her reasons were my immature ways of dealing with something when I am upset, meaning not talking or being a little annoyed. I was a poor communicator. We had an amazing relationship, great sex, a lot of similar interests. We were best friends for a year before we started dating, etc. We moved to New York 3 years ago, and things got rough. But both of us were working, struggling. We're still very romantic, but I know we both feel very trapped in the city, especially during the wintertime. It gets cold as fuck up there, I know that. He says, so when she broke up with me, she told me she wanted to travel and gain some more sexual experience, seeing that I had more than her. What's really going on is she just lost attraction for you. She just fell out of love with you. Basically sounds like she's going through a quarter-life crisis. Look how he tries to rationalize it away, like, hey, it's nothing I did. And this is the bottom line. It's like every day I see guys going, oh, you always say it's the guy's fault. It's like, well, the guy's writing me and telling me how a girl blew him off or stuck him in friend zone. Women don't do that to men they're in love with. That is just a fact of life. And if a woman was in love with you and then she does this to you after a year and you're living together, you moved to the same city together, and she's like, oh, I don't have enough sexual experience, so I want to go sleep with some other dudes. But hey, I'd like to keep you in my life because you're really important to me. She's breaking up with you without hurting your feelings. Why? Because she's not in love with you. Women don't dump guys that they're in love with. That's a fact of life. But a lot of the guys, and they hear the things I talk about, they don't want to admit it because their egos are they're so egocentric that they don't want to take any responsibility for their own actions. They want to be able to point the finger and say, oh, it was the girl's fault. She was a Fruit Loop. Now, obviously, sometimes I've done plenty of videos where it is the girl's fault, but more often than not, it's like when the guy's writing me, it's like this stuff is so fucking blatantly obvious. It's like I understand human behavior. And plus, I used to do these things. And I know what the results are when you act this way. And plus, I've been coaching thousands of men and women all over the world for the last 8-9 years now, professionally. And it's like you just see the same patterns over and over and over and over again. I mean, it's like you literally can set your watch to this stuff when you understand it. He says, she's been acting very differently. When we broke up, she said she still wanted to be my friend and occasional lover, but does not want to commit to me. She loves you so much that she wants to go fuck other guys. Think about it. We had great sex, and she ended up going on a Jewish birthright. She's 26, by the way. 2 days later, she texted me on the first day, and then the second, to say she loved me. I would have said, yeah, great, I love you too, baby. I miss you. I want to see you. When are you free to get together? Make dates, hang out, have fun, hook up. Since she's the one who left the relationship, you stop 100% of your forward movement. You don't call her, text her, or nothing. You wait to hear from her. And when you do hear from her, you make dates to get together. You make definite plans. And if she can't make definite plans, or she's like, I don't know, I'm unsure, then say, great. I'm real jammed up right now, but I would love to see you. Figure out your schedule and get back to me. We'll plan something then. And whenever she gets back to you, assume she checked her schedule. Be direct, be decisive, get right to the fucking point, and make a date. He says, I've responded, have fun, and I love you too. That's a missed opportunity, dude. Now you're acting like the friend. She says, oh, I want to put you in friend zone. You should have been like, I don't want to be just a friend, but hey, we can hook up from time to time. So you should assume that when a woman reaches out to you, she wants to see you. Instead of just parroting back, hey, I love you too. But make a date. That's the whole purpose of the phone, is to make dates. He says, she told me a few days later that she had sex with a visitor from the program 2 times and has not seen him since. How'd that make you feel? Probably not too good. She said he was bad, but she wanted the experience, seeing as she's never done it before. I was obviously upset, but said I was not angry that we broke up. A couple of days later, she called me drunk. She got drunk almost every night because she wanted to say hello. No, she was thinking about you. And since she hadn't heard from you, she wanted to see you, and you should use that as an opportunity to make the next date. And I said, I'm glad she's having a good time, and I am too. Keep having fun. I tried to be polite because she was wasted, and I ended the phone call. Well, at least she ended the phone call, but you should have made a date. Just yesterday, she got together with a mutual friend and texted me because he was acting strange and she wanted to go home, but he wouldn't take her. Probably because he wanted to get in her pants, because now she's supposedly single and obviously didn't want anything to do with it. Because he probably doesn't know what's in my book. He says, I called her and told her to put him on the phone and told him to take her home. He did. So she told me on the phone that she ideally wants me as a friend and an occasional lover, but still wants us to move on and see other people. I would have just said, great, baby, I want to see you. When are you free to get together? And then make a date and then say, I got to run. I can't wait to see you then. And then you get off the phone. Hang out, have fun, hook up. That's what you need to be focusing on. Instead, you're all like worrying about when you're going to get back together. You're acting like the gay male girlfriend and nothing's happening. I also texted her that I respected the choices. How many times have I read emails and a guy's like, I respect your choice to dump me? No, you don't. You don't fucking respect the choice. You're not happy about it. You're paying me to answer an email. It was a good email, by the way, and that's why I'm answering it in video. Doesn't just because you pay for an email doesn't mean I'm going to answer all of it, because I get way more than I can obviously answer. But I picked the best ones, the ones that I think give anybody watching some good insight. He says, I also texted her that I respected the choices that she's been making, and now she needs to respect mine to heal. That is the last time we texted, which was 2 days ago. She'll be coming back in a few days so we can start the moving out process, but I have no idea how to behave when she gets back. No different. Treat her like your girl. Say, hey, baby, you look fucking hot. You look hot in your little moving day outfit. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Help her move her shit and then get some pizza and fuck, you know? Come on, man. I want to be her man and her lover. Well, then act like it. Stop acting like the gay male girlfriend. Listening to her talk about all of her sexual escapades is like, it's like, great. You got laid the other night. It was really great. Well, awesome. Well, you know what? You need to come over here and show me exactly what he did to you so I can do it to you when you're free to get together. I've been making the necessary steps to move on, finding places to travel, have a date next week. Well, that's good. You're doing part of it right. How should I go about this in a mature way to let her know I want her back, but I will not wait around or be her friend? Well, stop acting like her friend for one and make dates when she reaches out to you. When she calls you, she texts you, assume she wants to see you and make a date. Stop focusing on the relationship. Stop focusing on getting her back. She told you, hey, I would like to have sex with you from time to time. Great. Have sex with her from time to time. Make dates. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. Have her come over to your place. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. And when she leaves, be like, call me later. And let her go. And then go out and date other women and move on with your life. And the next time you hear from her, hey, babe, it's great to hear from you. Oh, you've been having a great time. Me too. We got to get together. I want to see you when you're free. Make a date. That's it. It's really simple, bro. You're complicating things. So let's get into the fourth and final email. This one's a really short one. And this is like total case in point for what I've been talking about in this video. He says, hey, coach, I'm a huge fan and supporter of yours. Your advice has totally changed my life. Question. Girls lately have been trying to change me. One girl likes my hair one way, another wants me to dress another way, and so on. How do I handle judgment from these ever so irritating females? Just say, I like my hair the way it is. Thank you very much. And it's like, by the way, when are you free to get together? Let's hang out, have fun. Let's make a date. You know what I mean? It's like, stop getting involved in these things. Don't get butthurt. This is just what they do. They try to change you. They try to make you into what their ideal image is. But it's sexy and attractive when you say, you know what, I like my hair this way. I like my beard. I like my long hair. I like my short hair. I like my shaved head. I like the kind of clothes that I wear. Whatever it happens to be. Do what makes you feel good. Because when you compromise your values, or you change your opinion, or you change your hairstyle, you change the way you dress, because a girl you're dating says that it'll look better to her, well, it may look better to her, but another girl might like your hair the way you had it. The key is to wear your hair and your clothes the way you want them to be. That's what drew them to you in the first place, is because they perceived you to be your own man with your own goals, your own likes, your own interests, and don't compromise on it. That's what real men do. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone session, email session, or Skype session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.